head on the ground. Try this trick, spin it, yeah. Your head will collapse, there's nothing in it, and you'll ask yourself, where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Way out in the water, see it swimming. I was swimming in the Caribbean. Animals were hiding behind a rock, except that little fish bump into me, swear he's trying to talk to me. Say, wait, where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Way out in the water, see it swimming. With your feet on the air and your head on the ground. Try this trick, spin it, yeah. Your head will collapse if there's nothing in it. You'll ask yourself, where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Way out in the water, see it swimming. Feet on the air and your head on the ground. Try this trick, spin it, yeah. Hey, how you doing? Justin here, and what an incredible all-time classic we got today. It is Where Is My Mind by the Pixies. Wow, we're going to be checking out the acoustic guitar parts, the electric guitar parts. I'm going to take you through the acoustic one, kind of simple first of all, and I'm going to go into a little bit of detail so you can pick up as much or as little as that as you want. It's definitely possible to play it kind of fairly simply, but if you want to go to town and get all of the detail and get it just like the record, that is super fun too. So the first chord we need is an E chord. I'd recommend that you play it like this without using the first finger so it's easy to get to our other chords, okay? So there, fingers 2, 3 and 4. We need an E. The next chord is a C sharp minor, but I'm definitely hearing the G sharp bass, so you're going to be barring all of the strings, and then you've got that same shape, but second finger is on the 5th fret of the second string, of course, 3rd and 4th fingers in the 6th fret in the middle 2 strings. Okay, C sharp minor / G sharp, because we've got a G sharp bass there. Then we're going to move all of the fingers except the bar over, so we end up with a G sharp major chord, and then we move that up 1 fret and we've got an A chord. So the basic progression is E, 1, 2, to C sharp minor with a G sharp bass, to G sharp, to A. Just 2 strums each, that's enough. You could play the song like that. Like I said, we're going to get into the strumming and little lift-offs and mutes and stuff like that, but the basic part of the song is this. So I'd recommend doing this first of all, even if you're going to get into the more fancy stuff. If you can't do it just keeping the rhythm real simple, then there's no point in trying to do fancy rhythms, right? So make sure you got it under your fingers that way first of all. So the strumming for the E chord, there's actually a little pickup, a little up before beat 1. So 3, 4 and 1. Okay, and then it's down, little down, big down, mute, mute. And the mute, mute is happening while the chord is transitioning to the C sharp minor. So you end up with 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, now it's a very hard thing to practice. In reality, he's just moving to C sharp minor, and in the transition, because he's strumming, you end up with the mutes. Trying to do it deliberately is kind of hard, so it's almost like you have to allow the mutes to happen, but you're really just going... I'm not deliberately trying to do it. I'm going down, 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 up, down. As I'm transitioning, there's a down, up click. It's so the little. I'm going to leave off that little upstroke. Actually, it's going to be easier to teach the rest of the track. But just remember that there's a little upstroke the very first time on the the last 16th note of beat 4. So 2, 3, 40 and a 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And it's this same pattern again. Down, 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 mute, mute, down, 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 mute, mute, down, 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 mute, mute. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. The and is the smaller strum. So big, small, big, mute, mute, big, small, big, like downstrokes. Big, little one just on the bass strings, big, down, up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And now we've got... And now this one's often, people don't seem to teach this, but I think it's a really integral part of the riff to my mind, is, in my mind, where is my mind? Is lifting off the 3rd and 4th fingers. Sometimes I think it's the whole, all of the fingers lifting off, but that just seems to sound more like it. So you're holding down the bar, the full A bar chord there at the 5th fret, and then you're lifting it off, down, up, down, up, down, mute, up. Actually, it's off, on, off, on, mute, mute. Okay, and again, the mutes are really, I'm doing it here in the static position, but it would be the transition back to the E chord where the mutes would come. So all the way through nice and slow. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3 and 1 and 3 and Now I'm trying to kind of distill it down to a consistent pattern that you should check out. The original recording's a little bit looser than that. There's some extra strums, there's some bits where the strums are slightly different or louder or softer. You can go into as much detail with a song like this as you choose to do. I personally feel like it's a good idea to learn like one kind of version of it and try and learn it accurately so it sounds like the song. Usually it's the intro, right? Because the intro is the most the bit that people hear first, and because it's played on its own, it's a little bit more memorable. So I've gone for like really nailing down that intro section with what's going on with the strumming. But if you're playing it on your own, you're playing it and singing, like, it doesn't have to be exact, but you don't want to get it too sloppy either. It's up to you which way you want to do it. And if you're doing a cover of the song, remember, you can do your own version. You don't have to play it exactly like the Pixies at all, right? You can do your own version. That's totally hip as well. That's the point, right? The verse continues with the same pattern. So we have with your E on the air and your C sharp on the ground, G sharp, A, E. Try this C sharp minor and G sharp it, A, E. Your head will come C sharp minor, but there's G sharp in it, and you'll A yourself. E, where is my C sharp minor? G sharp, where is my A? Where is my C sharp minor? Back to the G sharp and then the A. Then there's one time it goes through that same sequence again. The electric guitar plays just the bass note, but now there's a difference. E, G sharp, A minor, C sharp minor, and it's held, and then B, 2, 3, 4. So it's a little bit different there. You've got to watch out for that section. E, where is my C sharp minor? G sharp, where is my A? Where E is my C sharp minor? G sharp to A. Once more through that sequence. E, C sharp minor, G sharp to A. Now it's different. So E, way G sharp in the A, to A minor, then to C sharp minor, 3, 4, B, 2, 3, 4. And I was swimming in the C sharp minor, G sharp, A. E, animals were C sharp minoring behind the G sharp to A. E, except the little C sharp minor, he G sharped into me, and I swear he's trying to talk to me. Wait, where is my mind? So that is the chord sequences, pretty much for the whole thing. The only changes are when it comes to the solo. So after that after the second chorus, it stays on the B. So you just sit on the B for a little bit while the electric guitar does the solo. It's 4 bars on the B in total. If you're playing in a band, the drummer is going to cue you in that 4th bar pretty obviously. We're going to talk about the electric guitar part as well that you play over that. So you'll be hip for that section as well. Then it goes into another verse, another chorus. And then it goes into another verse, but it just goes straight back to that riff. So it's not like a full verse, it just goes back to the other guitar doing. It goes back into that section, being played over it, and then, I mean, there's the ending part. It's a little bit loose on the record, and it goes into the high singing, so it's a little bit hard. Probably not the kind of thing that you want to try and copy unless you're like doing a record and you're in a studio. You can emulate those things. So when it comes time to doing the cover, I just think slowing down that riff the last time kind of works okay, but maybe you figure out another ending. Remember, when you're learning a cover of the song, make sure you spend a little bit of time in the ending. Think about how you're going to end it. Don't just get there and then suddenly let it all fall apart. I don't think there's anything else on my little notepad to mention about the acoustic guitar part, so let's get stuck into the electric. Just for the sound, I'm using a Fender Deluxe amplifier with a little bit of the crunch on, and that's it. That's the only effect on, a little bit of reverb. I'm using an old vintage SG here, seemed to be the closest sound to my ear, but I've got, to be honest, not much idea what they used on the original recording. Let's get to a close-up and check it out. That's the riff that we got. We're going to start off with this little shape here. First finger is going to cover the thinnest 2 strings at the 4th fret, and second finger goes down in the 5th fret of the 2nd string. So we're just going to be playing the 2nd string and the 1st string. And that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then we lift off the second finger. 1 and 2 and, okay, and then down, up, down, up, down. This is the 5th fret with the second finger there and the open string as well. And then dropping back to the 1st finger, so you get this lovely bit of dissonance there. 3E and a 4 and a 3E and a 4 and a down, up, down, up, down, down, up. That whole thing nice and slowly with the count. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and a 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and a. Just because I think it's a good idea to know where these things come from, the first 2 notes there are the top notes of this C-shaped E major chord. And then those same 2 notes are also common in the C-sharp minor chord. Then you lift off that second finger, you got the top 2 notes of our G-sharp chord. Now the A chord, this note isn't in the chord. It's just creating a little bit of dissonance, but you can hear pretty clearly the really fits out of the chord real beautiful. So that riff is played there right at the beginning, and it continues to go underneath the first verse, but when we get to the chorus there's a complete stop. Really nice shift in dynamics there, going down for the chorus. Very, very unusual. The kind of the Nirvana thing, I guess, was going really up and massive for the choruses usually, so this is taking an opposite approach, but it's just as effective at defining the sections. It plays through the progression twice there for the chorus, and then the electric guitar comes back. It starts just playing the root notes. So we end up just having the E, thickest open string, 4th fret on the 5th string, which is the bass note of the C sharp, bass note G sharp, bass note A. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The second time, goes straight from the E to the G sharp. Then when it gets to the A, actually you can kind of slightly hear it on the G sharp, but on the A definitely you start building up the chord for A minor, and then the C sharp minor again with those the G sharp on the bass, I think I can hear in there, and then we've got it really bashes it out on the big B chord here. Okay, so there's still a big gap, and here it comes out. A bit of a rock thing in there, which isn't on the record. Now, the next time we've got the same big B chord. Now, I've got to be honest here, I haven't transcribed the solo properly. It's a doubled guitar part, so for me to work out the two parts and be able to sync them all up and record it all would have been considerable amount of work. It's an improvised kind of B minor pentatonic thing. It does start with this, so you probably want to have that. That's first finger in the 7th fret on the 2nd string, and then we're bending the 9th fret on the 3rd string. It's called a unison bend. Kind of vaguely remember it, but not well enough to try and do a proper lesson on it. If you were playing this song, I'd just have some fun in B minor pentatonic. I went, and then I think, because I can kind of hear there's, again, these two notes that are being played on separate guitars, but they've got a nice bit of a clashy thing. So I was kind of slightly emulating that with the unison bend thing here, which again, this is now 7th fret on the thinner string and 10th fret on the 2nd string, bending it up. You can also do that with the first string in the 10th fret, 3rd finger 3 frets high, that's 13th fret. And I think I finished here on the 14th fret, first finger in the 14th fret. But it's an improvised solo, that bit, so just have some fun with it. If you've got a few guitar players in your band, two people might like to take a solo at the same time. So it's almost like trying to play the same thing, but not quite, and then you get this really like a nice, thank you computer for beeping in the middle of my lesson, I really appreciate it. Yeah, you just get a nice bit of a blend there where it's kind of close and you get these kind of bits of clashy stuff going on. After the solo, it's essentially the same parts again that we've looked at already. If you just listen to it, you'll probably be able to spot where the riff is going. It continues at the end. I think that's about it, actually, for the parts for this tune. It's a really, really good fun song to play if you're getting into playing in a band with two guitar parts and you're learning the distinct things, especially the acoustic guitar, electric guitar, always sits so nicely together in a band situation. I really hope you enjoyed this deep dive into an all-time classic punk tune. Remember, there are hundreds more lessons over on the website, sorted out by genre or difficulty or chords that you know, all of that sort of stuff. So do go and check it out if you haven't been over in a while. Have yourself a fantastic day, and I'll see you for plenty more very soon. Bye-bye.